century Russia, we write letters, we write letters. Hi there friends, if you're new to my channel, I'm Nicole, and today I'm going to be doing the My First Time Broadway edition tag. So I saw this tag on Amy Lovett, I think it's her last name's channel. I believe she wrote it. I will link to her video down below. You should totally check it out. It's super cool. She has a really great channel that I'm a big fan of. I discovered it recently. And I kind of wanted to do this tag because it's a specifically musical theater tag, so I was like, why not? Of course, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe to my channel down below if you want to see more musical theater content coming your way every Wednesday. So the first question is your first Broadway show. And my first show that I saw actually in New York on Broadway was Phantom of the Opera with Sierra Botchus and Hugh Panero as the Phantom. And it was so good. I love Phantom, and actually is still one of my one of those shows that really got me into theater, so I have a really soft spot for it, and it's just a gorgeous production. Of course, it's been running in New York forever. So I'm so glad that it was my first show. The next question is your first West End show, and I actually saw a couple of different shows in the West End before I'd ever seen one on Broadway, which is funny because I'm unfortunately American. But the first show that I saw in the West End was The Lion King. I was 7. The Lion King was my favorite movie growing up, and I was absolutely out of my mind. It's such an amazing show, especially for kids, and the puppetry in it's just so good. But yeah, and then the first show that I saw once I was older and not a kid in the West End was Les Mis with Alfie Boe and Hadley Fraser and Matt Lucas and all those perfect people. So the first show that you were obsessed with. Well, whenever I was a kid, I was really obsessed with Annie, because what little girl isn't obsessed with Annie? And I would go along singing Maybe all the time, because I still prefer the song Maybe from Annie to the song Tomorrow, because that's kind of overdone. And I also had this weird obsession as a kid with Oklahoma. And obviously Oklahoma's a really big musical historically, really changed musical integration and dance integration into the plot and stuff, but it's weird. It's really weird for a 7 or 8 year old to be obsessed with. It's got these really weird sexual undertones to it. At times they're not even undertones, they're just overtones. But yeah, I was obsessed with the movie of Oklahoma. But I think my favorite musical growing up was actually Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, because my mom and I would watch that movie all the time. And my sister Hannah is actually partially named Hannah because the baby at the end of it that Millie and Adam have is named Hannah. I will say the first show that I was obsessed with once I was older, once I was in high school, and I got back into theater, was Les Mis. And Les Mis is my gateway show into musical theater, and so that's why it will always be one of my favorites. The first time I cried at a show, I will say I've cried at most shows that I've gone to. But the first one that I cried at was Les Mis, because I didn't cry at The Lion King, so I think the next one was Les Mis. I sobbed like a baby the first time that I saw Les Mis, and every subsequent time. But my sister Hannah made so much fun of me because whenever Gavroche got shot, I sobbed convulsively for 3 minutes. I was I lost it. I don't know, man. But I cried in most shows. I cried so much the first time that I saw Hamilton that I think the men who were sitting behind me were worried about me. But Les Mis always gets me. I've never seen Les Mis and not cried. The first show that you saw on your own, I've never actually been to a proper Broadway or West End show on my own, because I always managed to find someone to go with me, even this summer whenever I'd win Rush or whenever I would win lottery or go get Rush tickets. But I did go see my university's production of Light in the Piazza by myself. I go to Elon, which has an incredible music theater program. You might know it because Grant Gustin went here, Adam Kaplan went here, Chris Woods from Supergirl went here. But I would see Light in the Piazza by myself, and I'd never seen it before. Again, I cried because I didn't know it was coming. All I knew about it was that Kelly O'Hara had originally played the lead in it. But yeah, I actually really liked going to see it by myself because there was nobody to have to deal with my emotions as they happened. But I wouldn't be opposed to going to see more theater by myself. I just really haven't. The first show you hated. The first show that I saw live that I hated is The Crucible. I saw it this past summer with Saoirse Ronan and what's his name, Ben Whishaw. And both of them were great in it. I just really didn't like the direction. It felt really pretentious to me. I'm not into that kind of super out there pretentious-y. Alright, my camera cut out, but we're back. But yeah, I really disliked The Crucible. I've never considered leaving halfway through a show before. The only other show that I've really hated is, I gotta say it, I hate Cats. I just don't get it. I'm a dog person. I don't know, man. I just don't know how the guy who wrote Phantom of the Opera and Evita and Jesus Christ Superstar also wrote like Cats and like Starlight Express. And the last question is the first time you heard Hamilton, and the first time that I heard Hamilton, I believe, was the day that Lynn dropped the album on NPR, which I think was like not this past November, but the one before that. And I heard it, and I haven't stopped listening to it since. Basically, I listened to Hamilton for 3 weeks. Like, I didn't pull up another song on my iPod for 3 weeks, or on my phone, because that's what I listen to music on. And then I finally broke and had to listen to some Killian Donnelly music. But yeah, and so the first time that I saw Hamilton, though, was March 24th. I guess it would be 2016. I know that date exactly because it's my sister's birthday, not just because I've like memorized that date for the record. And Hamilton has changed everything for me, honestly. Like, that sounds super dramatic, but the only other thing that's changed my life like Hamilton has is Les Mis. Because both of those kind of set me onto a path of what I want to do, which is work in the theater industry. Okay, so I think that those are all of the questions. I had them all written down here with some notes. Like I said before, I'll link you to the original video for this down in the description box. Also, if you want to check out my blog, it's flowercrownsandrevolutionaries.blogspot.com. I'll also have a link down there. You can check out some more theatery content over there. In the meantime, if you guys want to film this video yourself, please put a link down in the comments below so that I can watch it, because I'd love to do that. Also, if you just want to tell me your answers down below, I'll put the questions in the description box so that you can answer them for me. Again, if you like this, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys again next Wednesday. Bye. In my house, nice girl, very nice. There's a war going on out there somewhere. And Andre isn't here. Where is Andre?